Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with
Amber Owl.
and it's Tell All Tuesday.
It is.
I've got a question for you,
Okay.
just to start off with.
I have an answer.
There's a movie came out this past weekend called Here.
Okay.
It's got Tom Hanks and Robin Wright.
I haven't heard of it.
No.
Why?
Well,
Why haven't I heard of it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not that shocking that I haven't heard of it.
But if I remember right, they are co-starred in Forrest Gump.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This movie takes place with the cameras on one plot of land, like it's focused here, and this is a plot of land. And it goes through from like prehistoric times what happened on that plot of land. And then it focuses on this couple, played by Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and it goes through the decades of their life in this one room.
Interesting.
Okay. The interesting thing is, from what I have been told, is they start out when they're like 18, and they use AI
Oh, to make them look younger.
to make them look younger. But I saw Robin Wright on the television show, and she was saying that they went back and looked at movies that they did, because she was in The Princess Bride way back when she was young. Tom Hanks started out very young. And she said they couldn't get that 18-year-old spark in her eyes from AI, so they went and got the faces,
From the old movies.
yes, and incorporated them.
Technology scares me.
I want to know what you thought,
That's...
because it's going to creep me out.
Here's what I think. I remember watching season 4 of Stranger Things, and they made Millie Bobby Brown in the flashback scenes younger. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you remember?
I don't remember it. I thought it was just good makeup.
No, it was like AI something. And I remember watching it and thinking, this is a little bit weird.
Well, remember that movie came out I think around my heart surgery time, which was six months ago. Furiosa.
I remember the name.
Yeah, and it had Anya Taylor.
Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yes. And they wanted to have scenes when she was a little girl. And people commented about how much the little girl looked like her. And they said, that through AI, they were able to kind of superimpose some features of Anya, y'all can even see, over the little girl's face.
That's really interesting.
I don't know if I like it or not.
I don't know. I'll have to see it a couple more times to decide. But I remember watching Stranger Things and thinking, they have used AI here to make 11 look younger. And I had
they're going to have to do something now, because she's going to be 110 years old before that series comes out.
I know. Somebody call the Stranger Things people and let them know we're sick of waiting. It's been 2.5 years.
And then have your people call us.
Yes, exactly. Have your
Our
people call
people.
us. Yeah.
We're each other's people.
Yeah. Have your people call my people, which is Jackie. Vice versa.
But I know it's coming, because it's, and they've done it with other characters in other movies. I was reading an article the other day, and it was highlighting where they used it before. But there's a big thing in Hollywood, because the actors are afraid that they're not going to really need them. They can just take their image and create. Because you wouldn't remember this, because it's been many, many, many years ago. There was a movie called Rebel Without a Cause that starred James Dean. And then he had made a movie called East of Eden, which introduced him. And then he made Giant with Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson, which was a huge thing. And then he was killed in a car wreck.
Oh.
Very, very young.
And who is this?
James Dean.
James Dean was killed in a car accident?
Yes.
Why didn't I know that?
There are questions like that I ponder.
Like, that just seems like something I should know. That James Dean
because it was one of the biggest tragedies ever, because he was like nominated for an Academy Award and before, right after filming.
Was he like drinking and driving,
He
or
was
like
into racing cars.
Oh, he was racing.
And he had
kind of like Paul Walker, right? Wasn't he racing when he got in a car accident?
I think he was.
Yeah.
I think he was. But anyway, but now they are talking about making a movie starring James Dean
with AI.
With AI.
That's crazy.
That would be.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel
anyway,
about that.
The actors are worried that they will start doing this,
like losing their job.
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
before we move on really quickly.
Yeah,
just very quickly. When you said that the movie Here, that's what it's called, right? Focuses on this one plot of land and everything takes place in this one house.
The house gets built.
Right. I don't know if it's definitely not the same premise, but it made me remember the movie, I think it's called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Do you remember that? And it starred the woman that's in Hereditary. What is her name?
Toni Collette.
Yes. And
gosh, I can't believe I
good
threw
job.
that off so fast.
Great job. And the guy from Friday Night Lights.
Kyle.
No, he played Landry in Friday Night Lights.
I didn't watch Friday Night Lights.
Oh my gosh. But I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It was just such a bizarre movie. I remember you did a movie review on it and you hated it. I hated it. I didn't understand it.
I didn't either.
I wish you could remember what I'm talking about. But you'll have to go back and like look because it took place all in this one house. It's like at the beginning of the movie, the couple, the guy from Friday Night Lights and the girl who is the girl? I can't remember. They're driving to the parents' house, and then like when they get to the parents' house, things are super weird. And like the parents grow older while they're there. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I remember that movie.
Do you remember? And then at the end,
I remember that movie.
They end up at a school.
Yes.
And the guy's a janitor.
Yes.
You remember?
I do remember that movie now.
What is his name?
And he was a good actor.
He's been in a lot
Oh,
lot of things since.
my gosh, that's gonna drive me crazy. I gotta go look it up.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just cancel this.
Make it. We'll be back later.
Yeah.
Make a mental note.
I've got to, though, you and I were talking about this before we came into film here, but somebody out there somewhere, please don't make me the only person who is watching the streaming series Shrinking.
He was raving about it before we got on camera.
It's about 3 psychiatrists, one of which is Harrison, played by Harrison Ford. And this is the 2nd season. It's on Apple Plus TV. Mm-hmm. It is one of the best things I have ever watched.
And that's a big deal coming from Jackie.
That's a big deal coming from me.
He gives it a 10 out of 10, and that doesn't happen
10
often.
out of 10. I mean, the review will be up right after you watch this. It'll be coming out next week.
Yeah.
But it was like, this is just the dialogue. I mean, I feel sometimes kind of bad because I review everything and I sometimes just get immune to, but even this, there was just so much profanity and so much crudeness in it and so much rawness to it. And, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, gosh, if somebody asked me if they should watch this, I'd have to give them a whole,
a warning.
Well, let me tell you what it contains.
A warning, yeah.
But then I would say, but it's got heart.
Yeah.
Heart. And it touched me emotionally.
Yeah. And you love sad, emotional
and you
things.
don't.
And I don't. I like the twist. I like the mystery and the twist and things like that.
But I watched, it was 10, maybe 8, 4, 3, 6. I think it was 12 episodes.
And you had time to do that this week?
Yeah.
On top of all the other things you have to do?
Yeah. I mean, I watched 6 episodes one day, and then the next day I watched 6 more.
So do you here's a good little segue, Jackie. I think we all want to know, what does a week look like for Jackie? So are you waking up in the morning and first thing you're hitting the TV, you're watching 6 episodes, or are you doing it in the afternoon?
Let me tell you.
Well, tell me.
I'm old. So I do whatever I want to.
You get to do that.
But it's funny because Monday, I have a group of friends I have lunch with just about every day. Mm-hmm. And at 9 o'clock or around there every morning, my friend calls me and says, are you eating today?
And
Sometimes,
you say yes.
and I'll say, yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll say, okay, text so-and-so and see if he's going to eat with us. And that's Robbie.
Yeah.
And so then I'm awake.
9
o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Bright and early.
And every day I am a person of habit. I don't eat breakfast, but I will have a glass of tomato juice and a pack of cheese and peanut butter crackers.
Tomato juice. My grandfather liked tomato juice too.
See,
I don't understand that.
We old guys love our tomato juice.
Where does that come from? I don't understand.
You don't like tomato juice?
I've never tried it. I don't want to
You've
try it.
never tried tomato juice?
I don't like tomatoes.
Oh my gosh. Take out the knife.
I know.
You know I have to have tomatoes with every meal.
I know you love tomatoes.
I love tomatoes. But anyway, I have my tomato juice and my crackers and check on what the news is of the day. I'm a news junkie. I don't talk politics to most people, but
you have to keep up with it.
News junkie.
Yeah.
And then go to lunch. And then on Mondays I have therapy. And come back from therapy. And then catch up again on the news. And then we have dinner, or supper, whatever you want to call it. And it depends on, there are certain shows, we watch Dancing with the Stars together. And, so
you and Miss Terry.
Me and my wife. But then most times she is watching her thing, which she likes things like, there's this show where they're hunting for treasure on these islands. She loves stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't.
Like Survivor?
No, it's like they're doing like a dig and finding ancient relics and all this stuff.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of it, but it's been on for years and people are fanatics about it. You've never heard of it. So they go and they'll find, I think they found some bracelet or something. It's like, oh my gosh, this is 100,000 years old. But no. And so, but anyway, I watch TV. I review 5 movies
every week.
So generally, there's 1 or 2 new ones at the theater
that you'll see on Saturday and Sunday.
I'll see on Saturday and Sunday, and then they send me a ton, and I go through and pick out, and I'll watch 3 up before the weekend, and Saturday and Sunday, and then on Monday I will write the script in my head for the YouTube videos that we take when Lauren and Andrew come on Tuesday morning. And then Wednesday I write the script, basically get what you and I are going to talk about. You come on Thursday. And then it's Friday, and then
it starts over.
Go again.
It's a whole production. It's a whole process.
It is a process. But, my wife has allergy shots that she takes. So on Friday...
You'll have to throw that in there too.
Yep. On Friday, we go to a restaurant called Walk-Ons. We go every week. We know everybody over there. They say, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah.
They know you. They know your order.
Yeah. And they do. And they take... Have you ever been in this situation? They'll come and say, don't tell me.
That's me at my favorite coffee shop.
Is that
I walk in, you know what I say? I walk in and I say, I'll have the usual. And they'll be like, yes, ma'am.
Oh, they'll say, Diet Coke, tea half and half.
Yep. They just know.
Then they'll say, shrimp plate, substitute gumbo for the fries. And they'll look at here and they'll say, Gouda cheese,
they just know.
Turkey burger, and regular mayonnaise, and substitute broccoli for the fries. We get these same things.
Same thing. You're creatures of habit, like you said.
Yeah. And we sit in the same booth. I mean, that is so bad.
There is nobody I've ever met in my life that's more of a creature of habit than Jackie K. Cooper. You do everything to a T every single week. It's the same. But you enjoy that.
I do.
You love routine.
I find comfort
in routine.
That's why I don't like holidays.
Yeah. It throws me off. I get it. The older I get, I understand like the holidays or like going on trips. We'll do it.
Security.
Yeah.
There's security in routine.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
I'm on the same page.
But then you intersperse little things, because last week, with your permission, I wrote up your story about
My migraine.
Your migraine and how it affected your plane trip to L.A.
Right.
and blah, 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 blah. And I did. I said, would you mind? You were very gracious.
Yes.
And said, no, that's fine. You
Yeah.
do it. And I wrote, and I love it.
Yeah.
The reaction people gave to it.
Yeah. Me too.
You know, it was like you and Cody became this all-American couple.
Everybody I was famous for like that was my 5 minutes of fame. Everybody enjoyed our little story.
People loved it. Loved the story. And that was why when you were telling it to me, it was such a great story. I thought, well, maybe Amber wants to write it herself. You know? And then you didn't write anything. I thought,
I did not.
Dadgummit.
You have to take it into your
I'm going to write it. No.
In the moment, it was not fun, but after the fact, looking back in hindsight, it's a good story to tell.
It is a great story to tell. And someday you will tell your great-grandchildren.
I will.
You know, let me tell you this story.
Let me tell you what happened in 2024.
And you can look here and hear me and your great-grandfather on our wedding day, because that's the picture I put to cover it. So
that's right.
If you haven't seen it, you can go to my Facebook page.
Or YouTube. Here on YouTube, the community page.
On the community page on YouTube. So
that's where he shared it.
But it's a great story, and I love the reaction.
Yeah. I've enjoyed reading the comments.
It was almost like when I went viral that time, the subscribers went boo, 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 boo. I put it up on my Facebook page, and it was like 1 view, 6 views, 12 views.
Multiplied.
Yeah, it was just going boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did.
You should share more stories.
You know, that may be in a book someday.
Maybe.
You don't know.
Maybe.
Could be.
Before we sign off here, Jackie, when are we going to get another book?
Amber, when are you going to get it? Book?
Okay, fair. Touche.
I'm waiting for that one.
I know. I need to get started.
Absolutely.
Someday.
But anyway, I hope everybody out there has a great day. And this has been Jackie K. Cooper with
Amber Howell.
And this has been Tell All Tuesday.